Here are 7 tips to take you from being another brand in the sea of competition to an outstanding brand that's going to rise above, be unforgettable, and create a movement that's going to attract and build a following. For over 2 decades, we've been helping other brands find their voice and find their identity. We've done that through custom apparel and other swag. When somebody actually has that dialed in, it elevates the value of that brand. It elevates who they are and who they serve. It takes the brand to another level. What defines you? Think about that. I've heard the saying, fake it till you make it, or model after another successful brand, but really the gold is in being authentically you. The reason this works so well is when you're authentically you, nobody else can match that because you are unique, you are that person. Your brand and your business is just an extension of who you are as a person, your personality, your values, everything that you believe in. The more that you can be authentically you, the more that's going to attract the ideal customer who also aligns with your values, what you believe in, the things that you like as well. When you attract those customers to you, it also detracts the customers that you don't want, the ones that don't match up with you. That's just as important as the ones that you want to attract. Here's the other cool thing. When you're authentically you, you're attracting the customers that share in the same passions and everything else that you do. They're actually customers you want to work with, they're fun to hang out with, and you want to get to know and build relationships with. The game of business is all about playing the long game. This is not a one-time transaction. What you want to do, the biggest part in business, is creating those relationships. It's repeat business over and over and over again for decades. And that is exactly how we built 1-800-T-shirts. It was building that foundation. It was dialing in these relationships and then building this amazing community around us of people that share in the same values, that like us, that trust us, and we like and trust them the same. So how do you get that personal brand out there? If you're just sitting in the corner office, nobody's going to see you, nobody's going to know about you. And so even if you have the best business and the best product in the world, people have to know about it. I'm a big fan of saying, you know what? You've got to toot your own horn. You've got to get your message out there. When you win big, you've got to share that. You've got to let other people know. The easiest way to do this is online. So social media. Pick your platform. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Pick a platform. You don't have to pick all of them to start off. Focus on one and start dialing it in. Once you continue to get your message out there, creating this content, following your journey, and showing what you're doing and how that is helping the world and how that is helping all your customers, that is when it's going to start attracting more and more people to you. Document the journey, put out that content, start growing that following. Once you start growing that following, take that following and see how you can gather them into a community. Is it a newsletter? Is it a private Facebook group? Is it a Slack channel? What is that way that you're going to gather everybody together to continue to build upon what you started on getting that message out there? So here's an example. So Facebook treats the algorithm a little bit differently depending on how you're out there. So a private Facebook page is going to be different from a business Facebook page. And that's also going to be different than a Facebook group. The algorithm is going to show different things in people's timelines depending on how it's posted and how you're putting the content out there. We've seen great engagement within a Facebook group because people are actively in the group, posting, engaging, and the algorithm knows that they voluntarily are going to the group and they're part of that group, not just a business page that is organically trying to push content out to the world. The next one is the unique value proposition. What sets you apart from everybody else? And the common question that's asked is, what would make someone want to do business with you versus all your competitors? This is a really hard part to dial in. Quite frankly, I was in business for several years before I really dialed in our unique value proposition. This can take time and this can also evolve over time. So if you get stuck here, don't let it freak you out. Like, write it down, move on to the next step. You'll figure it out and it will come to you as your business evolves. Consistently communicate brand. What is your logo? What is the icon? What are the colors, the fonts, the feelings? What does that look like? So who are you? Who do they think you are? What is that tone and what's the character and personality behind the brand? When you see something, you see a poster or another piece of material from your company or from a company, even if it doesn't have your logo on it, someone should look at it and see the colors, the text, the way it's laid out, the imagery, and instantly click in their head, this is that specific brand. When you're consistent through all your marketing, through all your communication, through everything else on the specific tone, colors, fonts, imagery, everything with that brand, that will keep that bell and that familiarity in the customer's mind working with your brand. So here's an example of this. Wendy's. We all know the iconic brand Wendy's. You've got the Wendy girl logo, who is the logo on everything, the spokesperson, the attractive character, who is Dave Thomas. Then you have like this personality, their Twitter account. It's got this fun meme, like kind of jokester personality behind it. It's poking fun at competitors like McDonald's. It's always doing things to catch people's attention, almost to a dad joke type of mentality behind it. Now that's very different than a high-end brand like Louis Vuitton or something that's very serious and professional. So you want to look and say, all right, do I want that extension of my own personality as part of the brand and as the company? What are we also selling? Is it a high-end, very professional, very sleek, very classy type of company? Is it more fun-loving, laid back? You know, we're printing t-shirts here at 1-800 T-shirts. We don't have to be elegant, but what we are is fun, because t-shirts are fun. It follows my personality, just like laid back, having fun. Let's put on a t-shirt, and that's where we're going with ours. So make sure that vibe and that tone fits the personality and what you want to come through on that brand. Network and collaborate. So this comes in a lot of different forms. Of course, after the pandemic, it was like, how do you network and collaborate if there's no industry events or seminars or trade shows or anything like that? It was virtual summits and virtual meetings, and everything was over Zoom, but you don't get those deep, meaningful relationships over Zoom. I always like to see the best relationships that I created are through unique experiences at trade shows, seminars, or other events where you can sit down and share a dinner or maybe a few drinks with some colleagues or some other people that you meet. Don't just talk shop the whole time, but share something meaningful about you, maybe an experience that you did, something about your family, a little bit deeper to the core instead of surface level small talk questions. So think of what those actionable questions are to get to learn more about someone else and for them to learn more about you as a person. And that goes a long ways to building that relationship. Provide value. Focus on what is in it for the customer or for your audience. So it's not about you, it's about your audience. What do they want to see? What is going to entertain them? What is going to add value to them? What is going to maybe educate them? How can you bring that value to them to draw them in to want to see more? Focusing on what that consumer wants, both in terms of products, but also in education and entertainment of what do they want to see? What do they want to feel? And what do they want to know? The more that you can help them and deliver that value ahead of time, it's going to build on that relationship. It's going to build on your brand, and it's going to help them build their brand and continue to follow you. Think of where your consumer is starting and where they want to be, and help take them on that journey. Help bridge the gap to get them where they want to be. Pull them towards pleasure and away from pain as much as you can. The more you can take them towards pleasure and away from pain, the more they're going to be attracted to you. So in your brand store, you are not the hero, you're the guide.